How many times have you been scolded today? I bet at least once, by your boss, a customer, or even a family member. And you know what? Every time that happens, your emotions flare up. Frustration, anger, sadness. So you lose it and snap back. Then, later at night, you lie in bed hugging your pillow, angry, stressed, and regretting that you didn't come up with a better comeback. Sound familiar? But hey, I've got a great story for you. A story about how to handle the art of getting yelled at without yelling back. Come on in, grab a cup of tea, and let's dive in. The story goes that one day, while the Buddha was meditating under a tree, an angry man approached him. He started hurling insults and curses, spewing all kinds of harsh words. But strangely, the Buddha's face remained calm, completely unaffected. This only infuriated the man even more. He shouted louder, insulted more. Yet the Buddha just sat there, even offering a gentle, compassionate smile. Finally, exhausted from his own rage, the man asked, "Why aren't you angry?" The Buddha calmly replied, "My friend, if I were to offer you a gift, but you refuse to accept it, to whom would the gift belong?" "Well, it would still belong to the giver, of course," the man answered. "Exactly. So, when you offer me your insults, and I choose not to accept them, where do they go?" I still remember the first time I heard this story. I thought, how could anyone remain that composed? Just like those times I was criticized at work or faced negative comments on social media, I always felt the need to react, to fight back. But later, I realized, just as the Buddha taught, those words only have power if we choose to accept them. I remember my early days as a content creator. Every negative comment felt like an arrow piercing my heart. The more I reacted, the more drained I became. Until I finally realized the problem wasn't in what others said, but in how my mind tuned into it. The key lies in the observing mind, a technique practiced by monks. Instead of reacting immediately, I started pausing and simply observing. This is the feeling of anger. This is the urge to respond. And the magic? When we stop feeding negative emotions, they dissolve, like clouds drifting away. The most important lesson I learned is this. Behind harsh words are often people struggling with their own pain. Once I understood that, my mind naturally shifted from resistance to compassion. In the end, words are like arrows. They only pierce us if we lack the armor of wisdom. And with every challenge, that armor grows a little stronger. Now, think about it. How many arrows managed to pierce your armor this past week? But, not accepting the gift isn't just about ignoring it. Just like in martial arts, there's a big difference between enduring a hit and deflecting a hit. The one who merely endures is still tense, while the one who deflects remains truly at ease. Sometimes we still need to speak up against what's wrong, but there's another way to respond, not from anger, but from a place of inner peace. Like water, gentle, yet powerful enough to transform anything in its path. The real question is, how do we genuinely not accept the gift instead of just suppressing it, only to explode later? After years of practice, I've discovered two simple yet powerful exercises that can help. The first exercise I call the aware observer. When watching a movie, you can either get completely absorbed in the emotions of the characters or take a step back and observe the bigger picture. I choose the second way. Imagine someone is lashing out at you. Instead of reacting immediately, try switching to observer mode. Is their voice trembling out of anger or emotion? Are their eyes avoiding you or silently pleading for help? Are their clenched fists a sign of rage or fear? At first, this isn't easy. Emotions are like wild horses. They always want to run at full speed. But here's the magic. When your mind is busy observing, there's no space left for reacting. It's like standing on a mountain peak, looking down at a thunderstorm. You can see the storm in its entirety, but you're no longer caught inside it. The second exercise is called the Inner Journey Journal, a daily meeting with yourself every evening, not to judge right or wrong, but to understand, what did I go through today? Which reactions came from instinct? Which ones came from wisdom? What helped me stay at peace? My first journal entries, they were just messy scribbles of anger and regret. But over time, like a river finding its way, my pages started filling with moments of peace. Moments when I chose not to accept the gift. Moments when I found strength in stillness. Through consistent practice, I realized something profound. Calmness isn't a mask we put on. It's a new lens through which we see life. The habit of not accepting the gift slowly became second nature, as natural as breathing. And the result? Unexpected. When I stopped wasting energy on reacting to negativity, my mind had more space for things that truly mattered. My content became more authentic, because it came from inner peace, not from proving a point. My relationships deepened, because I learned to listen instead of judge. Life didn't suddenly become easier. Criticism still existed, but I had learned how not to let it define me anymore. Wait a minute. What about harsh words that come from a place of genuine care? After all, people often say, the truth hurts. Sometimes, the most painful feedback turns out to be life's most valuable lesson. Over the years, through observation and experience, I've learned how to tell the difference. Sincere criticism is like a cup of bitter tea, hard to swallow at first, but leaving behind a sweet, awakening aftertaste. Toxic words, on the other hand, are like fine liquor, pleasant at first, but leaving you dizzy and confused afterward. I use 3 simple filters to distinguish them. 1. The source. People who truly care will offer feedback privately and specifically. They are like skilled doctors. They diagnose the problem and prescribe a remedy. 2. The energy. Even when strict, genuine feedback carries the warmth of love and concern, like a parent scolding their child, where beneath the words, you can still hear the ache in their voice. 3. The effect. After receiving constructive criticism, it feels like waking up from a dream. You see things more clearly. And here's the magic. When the mind is still enough to tell the difference, even toxic criticism becomes a teacher. It teaches us the art of staying calm in the storm. It's like lifting weights. The heavier the burden, the stronger we become. Now, here's something that might surprise you. Many successful people owe their success to the harshest criticisms they ever received. They didn't just accept the gift blindly, but they knew how to transform it into motivation, like a single tear that helps nurture the brightest smile. Now, I invite you to pause for 30 seconds. Close your eyes and take a deep breath. Recall the words, the criticisms that have stayed with you, the ones that still make you uncomfortable even now. Maybe they came from a parent, a teacher, a boss, a colleague, or even a stranger. But this time, observe them from a distance. Imagine you are a camera, recording every moment, every emotion that arises in your mind, without judgment, without getting swept away. As feelings emerge, anger, sadness, maybe even gratitude, don't identify yourself with them. Simply acknowledge them. This is anger arising. Here comes sadness, welling up. Like a filmmaker capturing every emotional shift with precision, without interference, without judgment. Let your thoughts and emotions flow freely. You are not the character in the scene. You are the observer, watching a movie where the protagonist just happens to look exactly like you. The art of handling words is the art of living itself. It's not about avoiding or fighting back, but about receiving with wisdom. Every word, whether a sharp arrow or a thoughtful gift, can become our teacher, guiding us in the art of inner peace and wisdom. And here's a profound question I want to leave you with. Have you ever wondered, those who often give us harsh words, could they be the ones who actually need help the most? Share your story in the comments below. And if you found this video helpful, don't forget to like and subscribe for more insights on the art of living. See you in next week's video.